Yeah, last memory of Tom was I was in the flat in Richmond, and Tom came over and started playing chess. And I started to beat him. He goes, "I tell you what, let's just keep this on hold. We'll resume it next time I see you." I said, "Okay." I just remember keeping the board on hold.
I spoke to him the night before he went on the phone, and like it was a difficult conversation, which will always fill me with regret, because he was chatting to me. I was obviously in university, and I didn't have much time for him because it was just a normal conversation. I think he caught me when I was just finishing off a lecture, and I was like, okay, yeah, you know, let's speak tomorrow, kind of thing. And then the next day he went.
I just remember him being on the phone to someone rang his mobile, and like him laughing so much, my daughter and I were laughing, and he literally walked out the door laughing. And that was the last time we saw him. He'd met up with his friend in Woodbridge, which is our local market town, about 10 miles away from here, and another friend, and it was a last minute decision. I think quite late in the night. I think they'd had, several beers. They decided to go clubbing in Ipswich. His friend Zach went to get drinks at the bar, and when he came back, Luke wasn't there. I got my friend Vicky, who I'd stayed out on Friday night, to run and see if Luke's bike was there, and it was still there. When she told me it was still there, I knew something was wrong. I didn't quite know what. Not in my wildest dreams did I think Luke was missing. We had a call from work to my nan saying that he didn't turn up. So like I said, I was in the gym at the time. She called me and said, "Oh, your dad's not, have you heard from your dad? He's not turned up." And I said, "Oh, I've not heard, but you don't think any of it at the time." And then that night I called back and he's still not gone, still not turned up. And that's when it kind of hit me, and I thought, when you get a feeling, you think there's something up here. I found a note that he'd left, which is basically, it was a note to me and my sisters saying that, he was going, he'd let us down as a father. He was suffering from a mental illness, and part of his illness, he thought, he'd let us down, he was a failure.
And that was it. Front door clicked, off he went. And about a week later, we all suddenly started to think this is really weird, because normally when Tom went off, she often did, you get a phone call within the week. And we found a note in his bedroom which said, what were the exact words?
Going away for a while, might be gone for some time. I teach my son about him.
And my boys know all about Tom as well. We've really kept him alive, just in case he ever comes back. So if he came back, they would really know who Uncle Tom was, which I think is a really important thing, actually.
He will come. We will see him again, for sure.
I turned 21 just before he went, so he seen me kind of technically grow into a man, but I wasn't a man at that stage. And it's only when he went then you realise, the kind of things that he taught you. I always knew I was ready to be a father because, since my dad went, I tried to be like a father figure to my sister. But it is a shame because, obviously my daughter, potentially will never know like a granddad.
I I remember sitting outside on our little patio, and my daughter and my nephew were both in the kitchen, and it was really hot. It was a really hot day, and I just remember hearing this really strange noise. I didn't really know what it was, and then I realised it was me. I was howling. I have never experienced anything like it in my life. I think I was treading such a fine line between sanity and insanity.
The thing about knowing someone's dead is that you're kind of given closure, but when they're just missing and there is no answer to whether or not they're dead or alive, it's a funny, even worse really than knowing that they're dead.
I think the reality is that Luke isn't alive, and I suppose my hope is we just have answers before I die.
A lot of people do think, you know, it must be so hard for me because you don't get closure, and literally you don't get closure because you can't mourn for them, you can't grieve because you don't know officially that they're dead. Whereas if you knew they were dead, you could maybe, you know, grieve and move on kind of thing. But it's just it's really hard to describe. I mean, I personally, you know, go against that and think, well, it's kind of the opposite, because I'm never given that truth, you know, that he is dead. So I'm always kind of spared from that, and I've always got a little bit of hope